Hello YouTube, this is the Dbtgamer Show, episode 108. This is part 2 of my Metroid Prime 3 review. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, go back and watch it. I've covered most of the game so far. This is the, I've covered story, graphics, controls, music, gameplay, and some of the good stuff about this game in part 1. So if you haven't seen part 1 yet, go back and watch it so you don't miss anything. Let's pick up where I left off. I've just been talking about weapons and some items. Now I'm going to talk about the other stuff yet. One of my favourite items in the Metroid Prime series is definitely the scan visor. It helps you figure out loads of puzzles. And it's really useful, it's pretty cool. Another thing I really liked was the ship. You know, the ability to fly to different planets. That was a really good idea. The thing that's great about this game is definitely the map. The map can be a little bit confusing at times because of its 3D effect, but it does work really well, and most of the time it gets you where you need to go. The great thing about this game, you've got a radar in your top left hand corner of your screen that I'm pointing at now, which tells you how many enemies you've got coming towards you. That's really useful. Another great thing about this game are the bosses, although there is one boss which I don't really like too much, and that's the Omega Ridley, I think it's called. Omega Ridley, the reason I don't like him so much is because, well, he's cheap. Yeah. When you're on low health, or when he's on low health, he does this really cheap death move where he flies into the air and just starts bombing the shit out of you. And just kills you, and just completely annihilates anybody. It just completely annihilates anything that's in his way. So Ridley, I thought, the second form of Ridley I thought was a bit cheap. But all the others are okay. The first boss, which is the standard Ridley, is quite awesome. You know, Stamets just jumps in there, shoves her arm cannon in his gob, and just gives him both barrels. It's quite cool, actually. The pirate bosses, they're quite difficult because you've got to figure out their strategy, and you've got to figure out which weapons will work best on them. And that's really all good stuff I can show you, YouTube. So let's go to the bad stuff. Right, well, the bad stuff about Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, there isn't really that much to complain about. The game is really good, and it's definitely worth buying. My only complaint is this: the stupid friend credit system. Now, the credit system I actually like, but there is one part of it that's seriously flawed and should have been thought out a lot more. In the credit system, you have your blue credits, which you get from scanning certain things in the game. That's alright. Red credits, from scanning certain things in the certain enemies. Gold credits, get from scanning bosses. And finally, green credits, you get by doing special achievements. The credits you can use to buy special things like sound test, and other stuff. Now, the problem with the friend credits is this. Basically, to get your friend credit, you have to do a special achievement, and somewhere on the pause screen, if you can manage to find it, it tells you what the achievements are. That's the first problem. I can never find this thing for the life of me, and it doesn't even tell you what it is in the instruction manual. After you've done the achievement, you get what you call a friend credit, and then you have to send this item to one of your friends, and then they have to send one to you from their game through the weekend at 24, and then you can get your friend credit. I only have one word for this. What the fuck? This is the stupidest idea ever, Nintendo. Doing the achievement task thing should be enough just to get you credit. Having it sent through the Weeknet 24 to several friends is the dumbest idea ever. It feels like Nintendo just included this idea just to include the Nintendo Wi-Fi. And it's just a really stupid idea. It kind of lets the credit system down. The credit system, I think, is a pretty awesome idea, but the friend credits, it's just a stupid idea. If it was, all you should have to do is do the achievement, get the credit, buy your stuff. That should be it. You shouldn't have to send it to a friend just to get your stupid credit. So that was my only complaint about the game. The game itself, I give it a 4 out of 5. It's a really good game. If you're a fan of the Metroid series, it's definitely worth buying. It might even be the last one in the Metroid Prime series, because I've heard it's a trilogy, so it might be the last one. But it's still a good game, so it's a 4 out of 5. My next review will be a new PS3 game, and it's also going to be a Wii review. It'll be Sonic Unleashed for the PS3. I haven't got the Wii version anymore, but I will talk about the Wii version whilst I review the game. So you kind of get both opinions. But I'll save that for next time, YouTube. See you later.